95.5 KHFM, your classical station.
Sirena Huang is a multiple award-winning violinist, recently the gold medalist of the 11th Quadrennial International Violin Competition of Indianapolis. Sirena joins the Santa Fe Symphony this weekend in the Lenzik, and she joins me now to talk about it. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Alexis.
You have been playing since you were 4 years old. I know that's not uncommon, but it always makes me wonder, was there ever a moment where you just knew that this was the career you wanted, or has it just sort of always been a part of you?
I would say, I started violin when I was 4 years old, so it really was something that I loved from the beginning. That's largely because I grew up in the Suzuki community, which was like the Suzuki method is, a method for students to start the instrument. And it was just such a friendly and nurturing and encouraging environment. So I started out violin. I just did it because I loved it. It was really enjoyable for me. I guess when I decided that that's something that I wanted to do, when I was around 11 years old, I had this tremendous honor to perform at a World Peace Conference in Jordan. And so being in a setting where I felt like I was somehow connecting with people from all walks of life and being able to connect with them through my music made me feel like there was a greater purpose in playing music. And so even though I was really young at the time, I didn't really quite process exactly what was happening, but I knew that music was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life because I feel like it was my way of connecting with people.
Really beautiful. You've studied with Itzhak Perlman, so I just have to ask, what's he like as a teacher?
Oh, he was incredible. I grew up loving his playing. I was just, every time I learned any piece, I always wanted to look for his recordings. I grew up listening to his recordings. Went to his concerts and all of that since I was really, really young. I was so drawn to his playing. So when I had the opportunity to study with him, it was like a dream come true. Not only is he just like an amazing musician, but he is so down to earth and so humorous and funny and so chill. So it was just so easy to connect with him. And sometimes we have studio classes and we would have it at his apartment. So he was just so friendly. And also I just learned so much from him. And also like the fact that he has so much performing experience that our lessons, is spanned from learning more about the music itself, looking closely at the music, to also how to present this piece on stage. And like for someone that has so much experience doing all of this on stage, it's definitely very helpful. He's given me a lot of advice for how to handle certain situations on stage, dealing with nerves and things like that. And I'm sure these are all things that he's had to overcome personally. So it was really, really helpful, especially for whenever I had to go up on stage and perform. Those advices really stuck with me.
This weekend, you're performing Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto, and you've actually collaborated with Maestro Guillermo Figueroa before on this piece. I think you were just 18 years old, maybe. Have the two of you worked together since that?
Yes, we have. Yeah, so the first time I played with Maestro Guillermo was, I believe, in 2017, if I'm right. Yeah, and that was the final round of the Elmer Oliveira competition. And oh my gosh, I love working with him. He is so fantastic. I mean, just an incredible musician. And him being an amazing violinist and violist himself, I just felt like we really connected on and off stage, both. And I just felt so comfortable working with him. And so, yeah, I've been really lucky to have had the chance to play with him, perform with him several more times. We did Barber Concerto. We also did Tchaikovsky again. I believe we also did a Bach double with Elmar Oliveira. We did the duet together with the orchestra. So every time I work with him, it's always such a pleasure. So I'm just so excited to work with him again.
And this is one of the most popular pieces in the repertoire. What is it that makes this Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto so important and so popular? And maybe even what challenges does it pose for the soloist?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those staples for the violin repertoire. I mean, the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto is kind of like the concerto. I mean, there's maybe like I would say maybe five big concertos, but this is really up there. I think what really makes it stand out, I mean, especially at the time when this piece was written, I mean, Tchaikovsky really he really challenged a lot of possibilities that the violin could do. I mean, he really goes from the very, very highest note on the violin to like the lowest note. I mean, he uses the full range of the instrument, all sorts of colors, all sorts of characters, all sorts of textures that could be played out from this little violin instrument here we have. And I think before him, composers did not fully explore that big of a range. And so it was really an eye-opening piece when this was first composed. It's musically so profoundly written. And some of the challenges I would say is, well, first of all, it's a long piece. I mean, it's about 35 minutes long. There really is not much time for the soloist to rest. Of course, there's really grand, beautiful, epic tutti in the middle, but once you start playing, I mean, you're going for a long, long time. And I have played this several times, but I do know that one of the biggest challenges with this piece is stamina, is to be able to maintain this energy throughout everything that you're playing, to be able to have an overarching long phrases, when you're playing, and because and music keeps flowing, there isn't places for you to relax and just, I don't know, take a breather. It's just there's so much happening all the time, but it makes the piece so impactful at the same time and so emotional. And all the while, the piece also has a dance feel to it. It's lighthearted in certain spots. And so it's, just trying to capture so much the emotional intensity and also places where it's lighthearted and more dance-like. So it's definitely a challenge to try and execute all of that successfully. But I will say it's one of my favorite pieces to play. It's so rewarding when I do it in a way that I actually want. And I just know that it's going to be so much fun to play this and work with Maestro Guillermo again.
Well, and I know that everyone in Santa Fe is looking forward to getting to hear that collaboration come together again when violinist Sirena Huang joins the Santa Fe Symphony this weekend to perform the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, and also on the program Amy Beach's Gaelic Symphony and a side-by-side performance with the Santa Fe Youth Symphony. SantaFeSymphony.org for all the information. Sirena Huang, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thanks for having me.